This week we actually have a special guest. I'm going to meet him. His name is Professor Ouele. He's actually written a book and it's actually going to be turned into a movie. So this should be quite interesting. I'm excited to meet him. I'm going to have to go meet him though. So don't mind me. I'm going to try to step down in this little dress that Mr. Henry always wants someone to squeeze into and try not to break my neck. Hold on. Let's see if it works. Yay, I didn't die. So come on. I'm going to take this book and all my stuff. Follow me. Come on. Let's go have some fun. All right. Hi, Professor Ouele. I almost fell trying to come see you, but I'm okay. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much, and it was a pleasure to meet you too.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I have your book here, Beyond Stairs. It seems like a very interesting read. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the book.
Okay, let's start from myself. Basically, I was born without any disability. When I was 9 months, I was walking, and I was going all over the house in the house without any issue. But when I was 1 year old, which is 12 months, I had polio, and I became what I'm now. So I depend on crutches and on wheelchair to move from place to place.
What exactly is polio? I've heard of it, dealing with one of our presidents, but what is it exactly?
Actually, polio is a disease. Actually, it is now in many countries all over the world now. That disease no longer exists, but long time in the past, that it was a very serious disease, killing a lot of kids, paralyzing their leg and their arm, and killing them. So, but now we have medications, and it is better. But when I was born, I didn't have the opportunity to have the medication at that time.
Technology wasn't the same.
The same, yeah, that's right. But I suffer from it, and that's what the nature allowed it to do, to be.
So how did you get started with your book? Tell us about it.
Okay, the book is a kind of combination of fiction and non-fiction. And I started writing that book when I was in the elementary school. When I was attending the elementary school, I was writing without knowing what I was doing, writing, keeping somewhere, writing, keeping somewhere. And in the long run, I noticed that it was becoming a story. And my teacher, I explained the story to my teacher, and he suggests that I put everything together to make a book.
So what is it about?
Basically, the title of the book is Beyond Stairs. So it is a story of an overcomer, a person with disability who went through so many difficulties, but at the end, the person the main character succeeded. So basically, in the book, I'm trying to highlight different types of prejudices that the society has toward the person with disability. For some people, a person with disability is a useless being. That person should not go to school. For others, a person with disability should not work and should stay in the street begging. For others, a person with disability is a mystical being who can only bear disabled children. Therefore, he should not get married. And in that jail-like situation, it is the responsibility of a person with disability to prove that he is equal or superior to other people. So basically, I'm trying to explain to this population that there is a kind of discrimination against people with disability in the family, in the society. So it is a very serious problem in many parts of the world. In some part of the world, people with disability, the buildings are without elevators. People with disability they have to struggle to have access to the building. And it is when they finish their school, it is very difficult for them to find a job because employers, they don't know what they can do. Unfortunately, but the people with disability, they have a lot of talents. They are able to do a lot of stuff in the society, but many people don't know.
So it seems like not only do our children have to worry about discrimination against race, class, and gender, now you're saying we have to worry about discrimination against disabilities as well. I never knew that. I always took it as, okay, just because you're disabled, what does that mean? So what? I never knew that it carried over in the job force, and now you're telling me people don't feel like disabled people can get married? What is that? Wow, I never knew that.
Okay, that's a serious problem. When people with disability, let's suppose people with visually impaired, they go to school, they finish their school, and when time comes to find a job, employer will say, okay, what should I do with a blind? Can I hire him? And people who are deaf, when they go to school, after they finish their school, they cannot easily find a job because there is a kind of barrier. There's kind of this issue with the communication. And employer, they are not willing to hire them. It is a kind of silent discrimination. They will not say, no, I will not hire him because he's a person with disability, but they will find a way to refuse to hire him. It is a serious problem. And in some part of the world, you may not know, some people, when they give birth to a child with disability, they kill him.
What? Kill him?
They kill the child because it's them to have a child with disability in the society.
Are you serious?
A real story. So I'm trying to put an end to such a situation because I did not choose to become a person with disability. Tomorrow, what happened to me can happen to anyone. And I'm trying to explain that a person with disability has a lot of gift. We take the example of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was a president in the United States. He has polio, right? Yeah. But he was one of the best presidents in the United States. Let's take the example of Stevie Wonder. He's a visually impaired, but how many instruments he plays? More than 8 instruments fluently. I can give many examples to show you that a person with disability is a powerful person. He has a lot to teach to the society. And sometimes people with disability, they don't even know who they are. They don't know that they can change the society. That's why most of them prefer to stay in the street begging, because they don't know that they can do something positive.
They don't know their self-worth.
Yeah, they don't know. And that's why I'm asking them, people with disabilities, get up, stand up, try to do something positive. That's why I'm saying Beyond Stairs, the story of an overcomer. And that story is fiction and non-fiction. Some part of the story is me about
you.
Because I went through so many difficult situations, but I did not give up. I did not give up. And I'm trying to explain to people with disability, you should follow my example, because now God is using me to touch people all over the world. I created so many associations to help people with disability all over the world. And I'm trying to show to people with disability, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too.
If I can do it, you can do it better.
That's right. So that's the message I'm trying to spread all over the world. Because once again, don't judge the book by the cover, because a person with disability can be very helpful in the society.
All right. Professor Ouele, you've brought some very insightful topics here. Like I said, I didn't know that people were being discriminated against because of their disability. That, to me, is an eye-opener, because I'm quite sure a lot of people kind of overlook that. And then coming here, we're in America, you see so many different things here, like you had the ramps and stuff like that. It really alarmed me when you said there are no elevators in certain countries. I couldn't imagine being in a world where they're outcast like that.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you something. In some part of the world, people with disability, they don't even have crutches.
What do you mean?
They have no crutches. They have to go in the parent has to go in the forest and cut the tree to allow them to use it as a cane.
Wow.
It's very painful. They have no wheelchair. They have to crawl like baby all over on the floor. They have no wheelchair. They are right. There are laws, but those laws are not implemented. So they are without protection, and they are by themselves. It's very painful in some part of the world. So that's the real situation. If you go in some part of the world, like in Africa, it is a very serious problem. It is a very great challenge to be a person with disability, because your family your family doesn't consider you. The society is neglecting you. You have to struggle by yourself to live to survive in the society. And in most cases, people with disability, they give up because the challenge is so high. They face a lot of problems, and they cannot succeed.
So what would you suggest would be a good way to, I guess, overcome it all? What would be your suggestion?
Okay, a person with disability has to consider himself as a person who can help the society. That's the person with disability. That's his responsibility. And the society has to implement laws and regulations that protects people with disability. Because what happens is there are laws, but if there are laws that are not respected, it just means those laws are useless. So the government in different parts of the world should encourage people with disability to
stand up.
Yeah, to stand up. And and that's one of my songs. I'm also a singer. I just released my CD. The title of the CD is The 80s of the Century. One of the songs is about people with disability.
Okay. So, wow. I mean, you've given us a lot of awareness here. I mean, that we didn't know. Where could people find you on the web?
Actually, you can find me at www.professorouele.com. Professor is spelled, Ouele is spelled Ouele. www.professorouele.com, and you can contact me through the T management.
Oh, okay, so you're with the team management. Look at this. They're all tied in together here. Got us together. So you've been watching our special edition with Professor Ouele for our HCM Production Black History Moment of the Week. It's been a pleasure having you.
Nice to meet you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I know you guys really enjoyed our ACM Productions Black History Moment of the Week with Professor Ouele. Like I told him before I interviewed him, I did not know that disabled people were depicted the way they are in his book. And it's kind of disheartening, because you would think that we've come so far. We're fighting against discrimination against race, sex, and now, as he's pointed out to us, we now have to fight against discriminations against disability. So it's kind of sad, because you take one step forward just to move 3 steps back. Well, that's life. But we have to fix it. So c'est la vie. Until the next time.